Yeah, it's a big old night in the Premier League. Yeah, Man United take on Bournemouth. That's live, by the way, on talkSPORT. Leicester, Fulham, Everton against Brighton, and the one we're going to talk about now is Arsenal against Newcastle.
I'm more referring to the song that they just played.
Oh, you like the song?
That is a classic. Giggs, talking the hardest.
Let's talk about your team, shall we, Benny?
On top of the table. 7 points clear. Go on,
yeah,
boys.
you know, this weekend was the first weekend I looked at the league table, looked at the way you're playing, looked at how everyone else is playing, and thought, there's no reason why you can't win it now.
Do you know what, right? I looked at the fixtures and how they felt at the weekend. And
by the way, you got some big fixtures coming up.
Yeah, we have, but
okay,
we've had to play some big games.
Yeah.
I looked at the fixtures and I thought, right, we'll assess and see where Arsenal are, because I was convinced that Manchester City would beat Everton at home. You probably was as well.
100%.
So that would have made it 2 points. I was convinced Newcastle were going to win at home to Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, there's another one.
I think they were away to Leeds, weren't they?
Or was there away to Leeds?
Away to Leeds?
Newcastle Leeds.
Was it Ellen Road?
No, it was at home. Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
I was thinking, right, so Arsenal are playing last, but they've got the pressure now that these teams are coming up behind them. But it was almost like knowing that Manchester City drew and Newcastle drew, and it was only 4 points. It was like, okay. So they went out there and they played relaxed. It might have been a bit different, knowing that the chasing pack are coming. But tonight, what a game against Newcastle. But the Arsenal record, they've lost 2 in the last 10 against Newcastle. They lost the last one, of course, which was crunch time last season, that little period where they lost to Newcastle and Spurs. But before that, they'd won, 9 in a row, 8 in a row before then.
I think this is a big test for Arsenal tonight. I think, listen, you're right about Newcastle. They would see that as 2 points dropped against Leeds.
Yeah, and so would Man City.
Oh, without a doubt. But Arsenal, I look at other teams, right? I look at Man City, who I think the only team that can stop you from winning it. And I don't see anything in them. I know Haaland's unbelievable, I get that. But them getting rid of Zinchenko, getting rid of Jesus, getting rid of Sterling as well, they don't have, I said it at the time, they don't have the backup option they've had. If things aren't going for them, like in the game at the weekend where they need something different, they don't have that.
No.
And I look at Arsenal, I thought Jesus, it's so early yet, I know that, but Jesus coming out your side I thought would make a big hole. But it hasn't yet.
No.
Odegaard looks ridiculous.
Do you know what helped Eddie? Is that I think he would have heard the noise, I get it. But it looked like to me, certainly the embrace between Arteta and Eddie was almost like they had a conversation. I understand what he probably said to him. Listen, Eddie, this is your opportunity. You've been waiting for this. You signed the new contract. Gabriel Jesus is going to be out for a little while. We need you. We're not going to sign anyone else yet, but we need you. Step up. And I think the goal against West Ham, where he rolls the defender, smashed it in, and then he scores again against Brighton, it couldn't have worked out any better for him. He looks sharp. He looks hungry. And not only that as well, not only is he scoring goals, Eddie, his all-round play looks better. Like he's chasing people down. He's holding the ball well. Nice little touches here and there. He's got unbelievable pace, by the way. He's so powerful, so quick. At the minute, you'd have to say, yeah, Gabriel Jesus is a massive loss. You can't hide that fact. But what Eddie's doing right now is, even for McElhenney, he's just giving himself a little bit of time. Like, okay, we can assess the transfer market. We are in January. We do need to bring someone in. But there's no real rush. Like, of course, if Eddie gets injured, then you're panicking. But right now, because of his performances, you kind of go, okay.
I think you do need to bring someone in.
No, 100%. But at least, because if Eddie hadn't scored in these 2 games and it'd been touch or go, Arteta might have been like, come on, we need to get something done.
And good goals as well.
Yeah, but because he's scored 2 and Arsenal playing well, it's almost like he's just gone, okay, it's not the end of the world if we don't, but we need to.
I do think as well, from where Arsenal were, am I right in saying it was last season, first 3 games you were bottom with Newcastle?
Okay. It was.
I think I'm right in saying that if Arsenal go on to win the Premier League this year, apart from when Leicester won it, this would be the greatest ever Premier League win. As in, underdog-wise. Not great in terms of, invincibles and all that rubbish. Man United.
I know what you mean. From where Arsenal were.
Yeah, from a team that you don't think should be winning it, that win it. I think that'd be the greatest achievement other than when Leicester won it.
When you look at how strong Manchester City have been over the last 5 years, Liverpool, how strong they've been, and what you're competing against, for Arsenal to be above... Because I always feel like if you could finish above Manchester City, then you're doing something right. If Arsenal can do that, then what a season. You'd have had to have shown consistency, because one thing about Manchester City, and that's where you can't get carried away yet, because Arsenal will win majority of their games, but they might lose a couple. We've seen before Manchester City be in this type of scenario before, where they're either chasing somebody down or they're having to win outright. So they're having to win 10 games in a row to give themselves an opportunity.
And they've done it.
Yeah. So they've been there and done it. So that's why for Arsenal, you just got to keep winning your games, keep trying to hang on, because you know Manchester City can do that.
We're not even halfway through the season yet, right? Is top 4 in your head as an Arsenal fan, is that guaranteed now?
I think so. I think it has to be.
Okay. The league title's not done yet, is it?
No,
that's nuts to say that.
It's nuts, but I mean, if you win tonight 10 points, that's a nice little cushion.
We're not even halfway through, though.
No, but you said about big games, Arsenal, Newcastle tonight. Then they've got an FA Cup game against Oxford where you just kind of just maybe part out to the side.
Yeah, you'll be playing in that.
But then you go Tottenham away, which is going to be a difficult game. You got Man United at home, which I can't wait for because we owe you lot.
Am I coming to that with you?
Yeah, if you want to. But you said you like sit with normal people.
I said I can't sit with Arsenal fans.
Well, you're going to be sitting with Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Okay,
That's too scary.
So they go Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United, 3 big games, and then they go Everton, Brentford, City, Villa, Leicester. So
there's games to be won.
Yeah.
It's a massive game. League leaders Arsenal welcome Newcastle to the Emirates tonight.
I think you should come
with a chance to go 10 points clear with a win. No chance. Manager Arteta isn't expecting a pushover though tonight.
A very good team. Again, really well coached. I think what Eddie's done in that short period of time, you look at the numbers, incredible. Big credit to him and the coaching staff. And then they have created, I believe, a momentum around the team that they play the same way against any opponent. So tomorrow or this evening we'll start to prepare that game, and it's going to be another big test. But we will play at home in front of our crowd, and looking forward to it.
We'll hear from Eddie Howe as well when we come back from this next break. But just a quick word on Mikel Arteta now, because there's so much expectation from not just fans but the players. When do you think he will start thinking?
I don't think he will. I think No, I think he'd have to go right to the end where it's mathematically impossible for anyone to catch Arsenal. Then he'll start to believe. But the job that he's done as well, because even now, right, I still read every now and then Arsenal fans going, I'm not sure about Arteta.
Not now, they're not.
I promise you, there's still one or two. There's one or two out there that are still unconvinced.
How can you be? You're top of the league.
I don't understand it. But it's almost like they're waiting for the wheels to fall off. But I think the job that he's done in that short space of time, so he's won the FA Cup, right? He's had to get rid of big egos, the Aubameyangs, the Ozils, even Guendouzi, who's a young player but had an attitude problem. He's had to manage the whole Xhaka situation where he stormed off, brought him back, let the team down. Now he's flourishing. The job that Arteta's done, if he was to then go on and crown it by winning the Premier League this season, wow.
Okay. Last question, because I want to take so many calls from Newcastle and Arsenal fans, obviously. If you don't win it...
The league?
Yeah.
It's not failure.
It's not failure.
Of course it's not.
It's third failure.
No.
No?
Fifth? Oh, my goodness.
Fourth?
No, the aim this season would have been to get back in the Champions League.
What is it now?
Well, the aim has to be to win the league now.
You finished fourth now, it's not failure.
It's not failure, but it's very, very, very disappointing.
But not failure?
Not failures, come on. Failures outside the Champions League spots.
Okay. You're going to win the league?
I hope so.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.